Of course, our own haunted mansion must have our own Doombuggy. We cannot actually build a track, but we can have a fun photo complete with one of the hitchhiking ghosts. We still need a safety bar, some set dressing, and night lighting, but I am very relieved to be this far before September. We had saved the structure from our Halloween 2019 gravestone photo, so we kept the sturdy bench intact and used the plywood subfloor as the base flat on the ground to anchor the rest of the surround. We reused as many of the black painted 2x4s as possible, which saved us some painting later, but we needed some other scraps for the front wall and to support the flat panel screen behind. Thanks to Tyson and Rick for structure buildings based on my sketch, and for various size helpers for checking where the back braces should be. Next, it was up to me to create the curves of a Doombuggy. I knew it would take a lot of laminating large foam sheets together to carve enough curves, and it did take 6 full 4-foot by 8-foot sheets an inch and a half thick of carving, gluing, and waiting, then carving again with my hot knife. It was much too hot during our August days this summer, and I had to carve in place well into the wee hours, thankful for the natural ventilation from all the foam fumes from my heat carving tool, and how quiet it was to carve. I kept adjusting the curves over and over until it still wasn't perfect, but at least it was a recognizable shape. I'm at the point of diminishing returns for Doombuggy curvature. This looks pretty much like a Doombuggy here. That looks pretty good shape. It's a decent curve, and then this is where you'll take your picture. To carve faster, I had my heat tool on high, which sometimes melts pockets too quickly, leaving holes in the smooth surface. Plus, I had lamination seams to fill anyway, so next I used over 2 gallons of spackle to smooth the surface. The first coat was too thick, so cracked as it dried in spots as expected. The second coat was better, but it needed a third round touching up spots until I was satisfied it was ready for help painting from Star and Jolynn. First, we coated everything with dry lock masonry waterproofer to soak into the spackle. Then as the flat black exterior paint went on, it really started looking like a Doombuggy. I added a layer of black sheer curtain as a scrim to prevent reflections on the flat panel screen and hide the edges. These ghosts are from the Stuck on the Ride video I finessed into a clean projection loop back in 2020, then enlarged and separated into individual hitchhikers, but it's more pixelated than I'd prefer, which really shows in selfies. Funny that the main iPhone camera must do some smoothing since it looks great from the front. We do expect guests will want to wait in line for their turn sitting in our Doombuggy, so we have already prepared. Stay tuned for the rest of our own Haunted Mansion for Halloween 2024.